Today marks the day that we are doing a video that I've been looking forward to for a very long time.
So my sister's coming. She's bearing gifts. We have a car that's been in the family since I think like 1996, 95.
So this car, the way it is right now, it's been the way it is before I was born. It's been together ever since then.
Since like 96, 97.
This video could be 2 hours long if we wanted to, with all the backstory of it. So we're gonna just try and keep it simple. Obviously, when they get here, we're gonna unload it.
Unload it. Then we're gonna walk it around. It's been sitting for a while. When we initially loaded it into the trailer, car's been sitting for a good 4 years, not running. So to get it running, it had a flat tire. It still has a flat tire.
Yeah. So let's wait for my aunt to show up, and we'll walk around the car.
Auntie's always late. Let's go.
Hello, Auntie.
Well, hello. How are you, young man?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fantastic.
Come on, Hercules.
Yeah!
Drop it down. Drop it down.
Drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot.
There it is.
There it is.
What'd you do to it? It's got a flat tire.
I know, huh? We beat the crap out of it.
Why would you do that? Why would you do any of that?
You got that okay?
You're doing a great job, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Fantastic.
Hey, why's your hood cut?
You'll find out in a minute.
Well, I'm happy to see you're using Big Red's funnel on Big Red's car.
Yeah, man. I got my name on it, so I wouldn't forget what it was.
Yeah, see? See, it has his name on it right there.
That's how you don't forget whose it is.
Oh, yeah. You had to put that sticker on everything, you know.
Yeah.
Every single place you got to have the Ziegler Racing.
You know, just in case somebody steals it, you know it's yours.
You would have to know, right?
Yeah.
Why else would you not use stickers everywhere?
Yeah. Well, sir, do you think we're ready to start this up?
Hopefully the battery's not dead. Let's give it a shot.
I think we'll go.
I like your circle track car you have here, sir.
Yeah. Don't let my dad see this. He'd be having
you
a
gonna
fit
fit in
right
there?
now. Yeah, I gotta get both feet first.
Uh-huh.
You're taller
Okay.
than me, but I was able to get in there better than that.
Dad'd be having a fit right now, so I want you to know. Like Dukes of Hazzard.
Let's hear it.
Dead in a thornhill.
Oh, battery's dead.
Is it?
Yeah, it's dead.
Good thing.
This is a common trend.
Good thing we brought the chase vehicle. I'm not climbing back out of that car again.
Well, I'm hoping to watch you a couple more times get in and out.
All right, let's try it again.
All right.
Start it
Come
up.
on, we're burning daylight around here.
Yeah, you're burning daylight.
Let's get
Nothing
going.
accomplished today.
A few moments later.
Yeah.
You like that?
Okay, well, now we got dual chargers on this thing. This battery will not charge up for some reason. So let's nuke it to the ground and turn it on.
So here it is. We got it unloaded. We put the scoop back on it. So this is a 1962 Chevy Biscayne in all of its glory. It's filthy. Like I said, it's been sitting for a good 4 years or so. So pretty much little rewind in history. At one point, me and my dad had 62 Chevys. So we had this one here, we had a Biscayne, we had 2 Bel Air sedans, 3 station wagons, Bel Air station wagons, an Impala SS, and then the rest were just Impalas. So yeah, we had a lot of Chevys. On top of that, we had some other 66, 67, 65s Impalas. So pretty much from here to the intake and then front, this is a 62 Chevy SS Impala right there. So my dad sold one of his cars and he bought that whole blower. So he liked this better. It has small block in it. It's a factory AC car. It's a really nice car. And at the time, at the value of it, he sold it, and that's right here. So to go through the car, so it's got an 871 blower on it. These are dual HP 1000 CFM annular booster Holley carbs. It's a 468 big block, so it's a 60 over 454. It's Edelbrock Performer RPM cylinder heads. It's got a pretty small solid roller camshaft in it, stock block, GM steel crank, GM dimpled 7/16 big block rods, electric water pump. Nothing crazy on the deal. It's got I actually built the converter myself. I worked at Art Car. It's a 10-inch 3200 stall. It's a oval with an 086 stator. Turbo 400. It's an Art Car Turbo 400. Manual valve body, non-brake. This car ran 1060s in its current condition back in the day, not, a little more fresher. It's got a 12-bolt Chevy in it, Posi, 390 gear. It's all polished American deal, 15.5s in the front, and then 15.10 in the rear. It's got a 28.13.5 ET Street Mickey Thompson on it, and it runs on pump gas. This is premium gas. It's nothing fancy. I mean, you drive it around. It had a lot of problems overheating and stuff for a while. The radiator, because we ran a stock gearbox. My dad got this radiator and it's wide. It's wider and it hit the stock gearbox. He decided to kick it at an angle so the air just ramped through it. Overheating problems for days. Finally, he let me go through the whole car. So about 6 years ago or so, I went through the whole deal, straightened out the charging system, the radiator, got it straight. I added the Willwood master cylinder and then the Willwood front disc brakes. It's got the Trick Moroso drag springs and then just a competition engineering drag shocks in the front, and then the rear is a competition engineering coilover shock in the back. So the rear's been kind of modified. It's the factory bracketry, I guess you could say. It's in the current location, but it's adjustable. It's got a Heim, and then we add the upper arms in the back because it was optional to have the 4th arm in these cars. I think pretty much all of them came with a 3 arm, so it just had the 1 arm up top on the rear end. He added every gauge known to man. He had at one point 3 gauges out here. I kind of tried to eliminate some of the gauges, but he wanted, so pretty much the only thing I eliminated is the fuel pressure gauge, and I just have the little guy here, and then I moved him to the inside. He had gauges everywhere. He likes his gauges. He doesn't like Speedos. Gauges. He likes tacks. Wants tack. Everything's got to have a tack.
Do any of his Speedos work in any of his cars?
No Speedos work. The fuel gauge, pretty much, none of the fuel gauges work either.
Well, maybe it is stupid, but it's also dumb.
It's a chrome moly roll bar, so technically the car's legal for 1050s at the current rules. And then for the ignition, it's got the MSD Pro Billet distributor, and then it's got MSD. It's got a 6, what do they call it? The 6A, the one with boost, the 6 box with the boost retard, and then just yeah, all retarded. It's Pro Comp gauges and then the Pro Comp tack. You can see it's pretty haggard. It's got a mess over here from the stock master cylinder was leaking. That's what prompted the upgrade. Before that, this thing was actually a full drum brake car with a single reservoir master cylinder, so it's a little crazy, but the car is more for show than go. Obviously, a big block with an 871 will go faster than 1060s. It's pretty mild deal. And just to put your mind at ease, the steering wheel gets just as hot as any other steering wheel. The number one question for some reason is, does this steering wheel get hot in the sun?
So does it get hot in the sun?
All steering wheels get hot in the sun.
So the steering wheel gets hot in the sun,
So the steering wheel, yes, the steering wheel gets hot. So this car's been through a lot of different stages. This is one of the more recent. It had a fuel cell in it. This fuel cell's been in it the whole time, but before it was down lower, as you can see the hole here. And then the pump and everything was mounted underneath the car, and it looked kind of stupid hanging down. So I did this when I went through the whole car. I put the brackets in there and I raised the cell up. This is just a 15-gallon cell, and then it's got a Mallory fuel filter, and then a new Aeromotive. The pump's newer Aeromotive fuel pump. And the regulator is a Holley Big Port regulator. So I just put this in here. Normally I don't drive around with the gas tank. The thing,
because the vent is open and the thing's been sitting in Arizona and everywhere, so all the gas evaporated. So we had to put gas in it. But my dad has this, everything's got to have the it's red, and then everything's got to have Ziegler Racing sticker on it. He didn't want to forget what his name was, I guess. And then you can see the batteries in the back, and it's got the kill switch here. Battery's dead as a doornail. It's actually a new battery by use, but it's old by age, by years. I think that thing's like 6 or 7 years old. The battery's dead. It won't hold the charge. So we're gonna be going through the whole car, and we're gonna be changing it. So we're gonna take the battery out of the trunk. We're gonna put it back up front. Take the fuel cell out completely, and that electric pump. We're putting the stock gas tank back in it, leaving all the stickers on it, of course, which is gonna be kind of funny with the God boost because it's not gonna have a blower anymore. It might down the road, but right now it's just gonna have a naturally aspirated small block in it. Nothing crazy with the 700s. What I'm gonna put in here for temporary until my sister decides what she wants to put in it. But we're gonna turn this into like a daily driver car. We're gonna put a flat hood on it.
No more race car.
No more racing car. It is a frame off when it was done, and then the whole underneath of the car was sandblasted and painted. So at one time, it was really a cherry deal. But I think this thing was done in '95. It had a 402 big block in it with a dual quad carburetor that sounded nasty, and it acted like it was bad. And then it fell on its face, and that's when we come to find out that you don't want to mix a ballast resistor with a resistor wire because your ignition has absolutely no voltage. And it pretty much will idle, and at 2,500 it'll all fall on its face. But we learned that lesson the hard way. Cost my dad a pry bar to the face and a lost bet. So long story on that one.
You can see the back panel on the trunk where he wrote 7799 when he put that panel in there, big red. When I was a young kid, I always had like little toy cars that were red and had a blower on it, and I always call it Big Red. Like, this car means a lot to me because it's what I think of when I think of classic cars. I think of this car just because of the look of it and everything that all the memories it brings to me of getting taken to high school in it from time to time, going to Hot August nights in the car. And it just, it's always been in the family. So it's one of those cars that I always think of when I hear classic cars. It's one of the first ones to my mind. And to clarify, no, this is not the car we were talking about in the dually video when we said, what do you think of when you hear American classic? This is not the car. So it's a different car when we were talking about that. But you can see we cleaned up the windows. There were some cat prints from, some stray cats out in Wadsworth. Even though this thing was inside, it wasn't exactly vacuum sealed inside. It was more of like a shed, temporary shed, makeshift shed. I don't know what you want to call that thing that it was inside of. So stray cats would get inside, climb on the car. Fun stuff, huh?
And you can see it's got the flags and the 409 on it. My dad added that. It wasn't I'm pretty sure this was a 6-cylinder car when we got it. It wasn't, I don't even think it was a small block deal. So it wouldn't have had the flags or the 409, but it definitely didn't have 409. He had that because of the big block.
I think it was a song, right?
Yeah, 4-speed dual quad positive tractor 409. I can go on for days over this car. It's been all over the place. We took it to, Reading, cool April nights. Sacramento raced it, and Hot August nights in Reno. My dad, he always would say, there's no replacement for displacement. So, you gotta have your big block. And in my car, I had a black Bel Air sedan that had a small block in it that would outrun this thing any day of the week and twice on Sunday. And we went to Sacramento, and he was, we took both the cars. He took this, and I took my Bel Air, and we're over there racing, and we had some buddies over at Sacramento, and he raced the small block Camaro, the second gen, kind of like the one I have now, with a small block, and this little small block blew his doors off at the track, and I was giving him crap about getting beat by a small block,
You almost had me. You never had me. You never had your car.
So let's get inside of this loud land boat and let's go for a drive. Let's take it back to the past. Kick it back old school. So let me get all my talking out of the way before we started, just in case it's way too loud in here. So we're gonna drive it just a little bit on the side street. We're not gonna go on the freeway. We wanted to, but the tires are pretty dry rotted. They look pretty rough, so we don't want to go too far on them. Plus that one keeps losing air on the passenger side and the rear.
Hold on, I gotta get the right key.
Guess to get the right key.
This key.
That key. Let's go. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how loud is this?
pounds of gas, we should be able to go a mile or so.
Know what that noise is, man. I like the sound of it for like 3 minutes, and then after that it's just too loud. It's too much if you want to drive it.
We'll make it nice and quiet.
That's something I've been hoping to do for a long time, and we were finally able to show it to you. So if you guys watched the video when we first picked up the 67 Camaro sitting right over there, and we made a joke about Big Red, now you know why. Because of this right here. So that's like medium red.
That's wannabe red.
Yeah.
67 Dave ain't got nothing on this thing.
Nothing, man.
You gotta see how we're gonna turn this into a old, decrepit sister driving car. There's a lot to do. You gotta stay tuned, man. Come on back.
See you next time.